After an opening day marked by a doomsday rhetoric, it's time for action at the World Climate COP26 Summit in Glasgow. Tuesday marked the second day of the 2 weeks long COP26 Summit, and before leading to the main assembly hall for lined up speeches and pledges of the day, world leaders had gathered together to pose for a family photo. This photo was taken at the reception hall of the summit venue. The COP26 UN Climate Summit is being held in Glasgow. The leaders smiled at the camera. They broke out with a short applause as well. The pledges here encompass the promise to secure the rights of indigenous people and recognize their role as forest guardians. World leaders issued a multi-billion-dollar pledge with 200 countries and indigenous groups promising to halve the rate of deforestation by 2020 and end it by 2030.
And today I'm announcing a new plan to conserve global forests, which will bring together a full range of U.S. government tools, diplomatic, financial, and policy, to halt forest loss, restore critical carbon sinks, and improve land management.
Russia supports a draft joint declaration on forests and land use that was submitted for adoption at this session today. We expect that its implementation will inspire closer partnership of all the states involved in the forest saving process. Without a doubt, it will help to reach the goals of the Paris Agreement on decarbonization.
We know that 80% of tropical deforestation is driven by the global trade in agricultural commodities. Let's work together, not just to protect the forests, but also to ensure that the forests return.
Ladies and gentlemen, in my capacity as President in Office of the African Union, I recently launched the Green Recovery Plan for Africa, which aims to strengthen measures in favor of environmental sustainability and prosperity in Africa.
IPCC tells us there is no valuable future without the tropical rainforest. It is my hope that Glasgow will mark a turning point, and that together we will keep the forest standing and the door open for our children and their children.
I must say this today, we're not waiting until 2030. We are today committing ourselves to protect 30% of our territory as a protected area in 2022, because we must act now.
Now, these were all the speeches and pledges. Let's just talk about what else happened at the summit. A pool video feed from inside the conference shows U.S. President Joe Biden shutting his eyes for a good 30 seconds. It has been a full schedule for the 78-year-old president, with G20 in Rome and the climate conference in Scotland, and thus the American leaders caught up with a very shut eye. Now, during the videotaped messages of activists playing in the conference, but Biden wasn't the only leader caught napping. The camera also snapped the host snoozing off during the climate summit. Sitting between the 95-year-old historian David Attenborough and the United Nations chief Antonio Guterres, the maskless British Prime Minister Boris Johnson closed his eyes, nodded off for a bit for a power nap. It is indeed a very hectic time for the world leaders. A Hollywood star, vocal supporter of climate change, Leonardo DiCaprio made an appearance at the COP26 Climate Summit in Glasgow. He was pictured at the conference surrounded by an entourage. Leonardo DiCaprio has worked on a number of documentaries on environment and animal poaching and was appointed as the United Nations representative on climate change in 2014. Apart from world leaders and maybe one Hollywood star, there is one more high-profile group of attendees. The British royals, the member of the British royal family, were in attendance of the Global Climate Summit. Queen Elizabeth sent a video message to the world leaders. Prince Charles, his wife Camilla, Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, made a glittery appearance at a summit which advocates a sustainable living standard and blasts royalty as hypocrites. The royals were seen enjoying themselves at the summit. The Prince Charles, who has replaced his mother at the summit, was seen enjoying drinks during the reception of the COP26 summit. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.